Hi, everyone. It's Lucille and Lori from The Squeeze. We want to welcome you for coming today. We're excited. As always, this is really kind of a big day. We started The Squeeze, I think it was September of last year, 2019.
Beginning of September, I looked back, so yes.
Yeah.
That was our first show.
And we started it, right, to shine light on issues. We've said this before, that just everyday Americans, including, which is us,
right?
We're having, difficulty with or struggling with or feeling squeezed. And, both Lori and I are digital marketers, and it was important to us. We spend our career, our work life making the, visible the businesses that are our clients, making their voices heard. And so it was just very natural for us to want to do this type of to do a live stream about just ordinary people and what they were struggling with. And I guess it was our effort, Lori, to just kind of put some light into the world.
Right. Some positivity. Really, that was the point too. It wasn't like we're going to get on this thing and say and complain. That was one of our biggest visions about this, was we are going to get on here and we're going to talk. We're going to actually just be vulnerable. Yep. And say, this is what I'm feeling squeezed about, and let people understand like they are not alone. And I think we've done that. And then that we wanted solutions. This was solution based. That's why we had some of these. We had quite a few people, experts on talking about college debt, health issues, healthcare from the buyer's perspective, healthcare from a hospital's perspective. We definitely
racism.
Yeah, racism. Who isn't feeling that?
Oh,
you'd have to be living under a rock to not feel that.
Right.
Yeah.
So we've kind of gone with the flow with what kind of has come up.
Yeah.
But it's been all about the collaboration.
Right.
And if people, I love this saying, and you may have heard it before, but it's using the letters in team, and it's together, everyone achieves more.
I like that.
And I think we're approaching this election. It's 2 weeks away. I would love to see more collaboration in the world. That's my hope.
Right. Me too.
Yeah.
I think the problem here is one of the things we touched on was staying healthy through all of this, right? Self-care.
COVID.
And I think what's happening is, for me, I have to hop on social media to work for my clients.
Right.
And I am not, one of my downfalls is I have a hard time focusing, because I get on and then, oh, look at that. What's happening? What's trending? And what's everybody talking about? And then I get into this stream of just negativity,
right?
Polarization, fighting. We've really tried to just be as neutral as possible on here.
And political.
Our goal from the very beginning is vote.
Vote.
It's
whatever.
Voice
use your voice.
Right.
Whoever you support, use your voice.
Right. Get involved. As I said on Twitter when we posted for today, I really, truly hope that this election, we have come together as a nation to vote more than ever before. And then I hope we continue to care and be more. I hope I am more into the political system than ever before, because I wasn't before we started this. I was not.
So I mean, so for both of us, we've had really good things happen to us personally. I mean, we've learned a lot. I mean, I think, like you said, I mean, that's huge, Lori, that you are now engaged.
Oh, very.
In the political system. And I have to agree with you, because of course both of us make our livelihood on the digital platforms. And it is so hard because there is so much negativity out there. And, it's actually I've actually hit the point where I may not even go on for, a few days or whatever, or very lightly. And that's pretty remarkable.
Right. I think what's interesting though is that I've seen it's bleeding into like a couple companies that I work for, not touching politics at all. Yeah. But I'm noticing that some companies are, and then it's damned if you do and damned if you don't. If you don't acknowledge what's going on, they're like, hey, you don't care. And it's not that we don't care, it's that, is it wise for us to step in and say anything? Because what's happening is everybody's fighting instead of listening and constructively talking. And you can't control that on social media. So you really have to, there is a balance. I love the companies that are coming forward and standing up for what they believe in. I love that. But I also understand the companies that are choosing not to be as vocal. And I think before people start pointing their finger and blaming these, like, I can't believe you're not doing, maybe stop pointing the finger and maybe you should listen to learn. Right.
And I think that's a big part of it. I think it is that listening and just trying to understand the other person's point of view. It's really important. It's critical in going forward and having a society that, is better functioning. I know in this year, for me, I'm making a change in the focus of my company, Sage and Savvy Marketing. And I've really decided that I want to work with clients that are their intention is to put good into the world. I have a client who, is helping people find more joy in their life, more fulfillment, more purpose. And, it's been very inspirational to me. And it's just this whole experience and this whole year of the unbelievable stuff that we've had to deal with has made me really focus in on what do I want to do with my life and my career. And that's the direction I'm going to head.
I like that. I have definitely over the years noticed that I gravitate toward companies that are creating with their hands, businesses that really don't mind getting dirty. I really like that, because part of me is that I've embraced with myself is the perfectly imperfectness of myself. Because our very first show, I am actually in my home. I'm not in an office. And I used to want to hide that. Like, I don't want to tell anybody that I work from home. Now everybody's working from home. Oh my gosh, this is okay. Yeah. So my freaking refrigerator had a leak. It was awful. And now interestingly, I've gotten to the point where I want an office, because my entire family, my husband was grinding coffee a couple of shows ago, and I was so upset with him. And he said, they know you're in your house. I'm like, they know I'm in my house, but can you just wait until the show is over to do coffee, or do it before? So I'm really not enjoying having to defend my business
Mhm.
never had to before. And I think that's a real issue, I believe, with women, that
Yeah.
men think that their business is more important than a female's business, and that is quite untrue.
Yeah. I think it's just that, and particularly when we work from home, right?
Mhm.
So, working from home, people think, oh, we are at home.
Yeah. Oh, we're homemakers, just doing a hobby.
Or you're at home, you can run this errand. You
Right.
can do this, you can do that. So it's interesting, and I would wonder, because you and we have always worked from home, like you said. I would wonder
I worked in an
if
office.
other people, women, men, whatever, are finding that, the ones that are now at home because of COVID. And, a lot of people are still working from home. And I think they're going
We're all
to be
here.
through the winter because the numbers are going up.
Well, here's the thing too, is this whole focus that I notice with people around me. Like, I can't do that. I need to focus. But like you said, oh, I'm at home, but I can go run the errand while I can have the plumber here while I'm working. So you can do it without focusing. No, it's just as hard for me. I just keep juggling those balls.
So this is something that we feel squeezed. As we're talking, it's an issue for people and women and whoever, men, whatever, who are working from home. That when you're working from home, there's this idea that maybe, you've got extra time.
Well, here's the thing too. So on the news we were watching, it was a great little segment on this man who said, I've been working from home. I've had a hard time focusing. I have little kids, the wife. So what does he do? I think he's smarter than me. He says, I'm going to build a he shed in the back. So there's a company that has prefab kits to build a small office. And so they showed the whole process. And I'm like, that's what I need. I live on a postage stamp in LA, so I don't really have the room for that. But he said specifically, that way I can go out there, do my work. No one, shut the door. No one bothers me. I come out, I go into the house, and then they're like, okay, Dad's home.
Right.
I think that boundary between I'm in the office, I'm out of the office is so blurred right now with a lot of people. And I think people are struggling, but we're doing it anyways. I mean, we've got to do it. We don't have a choice.
We have to do it. And I think that, like I said, I think we're going to be doing it for a while longer. Yeah. And perhaps more people are going to be coming back. If they've gone back to the office, they're going to be coming back and working from home because those numbers are rising. So it's really difficult. But yeah, so we have, circling back to that election, I voted. Oops, I voted.
Yay.
And we're really encouraging people to vote. And we've been doing that every show. This is our 24th.
24th.
Because we go live twice a month. And we pretty much held that. There's been a few times that we haven't. But so I've been asking people have they voted, or do they plan to vote?
What was it like to vote? You voted in person?
Oh my gosh, it was so easy, Lori. I went in on Tuesday. I do live in a small town. There's 12,000 people in my town. Yeah. And I grew up in a city. So anyway, I just went to town hall. They have early voting for these 2 weeks. Right up to the election, you go to town hall. They have a room all set up for voting. You vote like you normally would. There's voting.
Was there a line?
Huh?
Was there a line to get in?
No, but the room was full. But there was no line. I voted. You put it in an envelope. You sign your name and you put it in the box. But it's right there in the right there in City Hall, in Town Hall. So there's no worry about it being counted.
It's not electronic voting either, right? Didn't you tell me that?
We do not have that.
We're electronic voting here in my area.
Yeah. And so anyway, there's that. people can absentee ballot vote, right? You can, vote by absentee ballot. I don't know, you have to go to a website like vote.org to see, I don't know if the deadline has come yet for requesting an absentee ballot, but for those who have absentee ballots, they can get their vote in that way. And then my husband is determined. He said, I'm going in person on November 3rd. That's the way it is, And
I think it's good that everybody has a different plan. Spread it out.
Get the vote in. I mean, we may not, so what we're planning, right, is that our next squeeze show, our live stream, will be, we're going to do like a wrap up, right? Because we fulfilled our commitment to each other. We're going to do a wrap up, right?
Right.
And then from that point on, we'll figure out what our next step is. But
right. We've been talking about it. We've had some ideas of how we could pivot and change this. I think it's been great. So here's one of the things I'd like to say, if anybody's watching. Well, I can see that Christy is here. So thank you, Christy, for joining us. One of our excellent viewers who have been here for almost every one of our shows. She was on our show and talked about her business and how what she does really helps with managing thoughts and healing, and she's helped me quite a bit personally.
So her business is called Intuitive Heal.
Intuitive Heal. She's done if anybody, this resonates with anybody, one of the things she did in a few of her last videos was about overthinking, and she did not. I had to ask her. I said, "Did you do this for me?" And no, this just was her plan, and she did it in 3 segments. But I have to say, another one of my downfalls. Let's see, we're just going to talk about all my issues. Is overthinking. Research, overthinking, and I just go into this spinning cycle of, I gotta research this a little bit more. I need to think about this a little bit more. Even with the voting. I have not voted yet because I have, 10 propositions that I have to, and I want to do the right thing. And I think that's one of my problems with overthinking is that I'm so afraid that once I pull the trigger, the right answer will come. So I need to just give myself a deadline and do it. But she has some really great self-holds. She does Jin Shinjitsu and some self-helps that help with different things that happen with you, and they are awesome. Right. Here's saying something else. Let's see. Thank you so much for mentioning me. Of course, we're overthinking. There's so much going on right now, right? There is. I mean, if it's not overthinking, I'm sure anxiety is another issue that people have. That's not something that I'm one of my high. I'm not a high anxiety person, but how close is anxiety to overthinking? I don't know.
Right. Well, if people want to talk about anxiety, I can talk to them about that. Right. But we could do a show on that. I actually did a podcast. A friend of mine she has a podcast called The Anxiety Connection, and I shared some of my experiences with that. But and like you said, it's all about so we have all of these recordings of all of our shows, and the information, a lot of it is evergreen,
right?
So I really encourage people to go back and look at what the work or the information that's out there. I mean, if I was a parent with a kid going to college, I'd want to listen to our, I think it was our first. One of our first shows.
Fall of last year, we had him on.
Yeah. And we've talked about some really important things. So good.
I want to get back to my point because I didn't finish my point, which is
I'm sorry.
Normal for me. But was the thing that all of these things going on. And you and I choosing to do this and not waiting until, oh, we have a logo. This is all perfect. I have an office to do that. I have a microphone. I have lighting. No, I don't have any of that. I have the worst lighting. Lucille did a fantastic job. If you want to know what her lighting is, it's very good. I should have bought that before we got to this point, but I did not. I do not have a fancy microphone, and you can probably tell when you're listening, so I'm sorry for that. But here is my point. Just do it. The thing is that this is going to evolve no matter what you do. I have watched so many people start out and be planned, have it all, and they still evolve. So It doesn't matter where you start, just start. And if you can do this, you can do it. I mean, really.
Right. And aside from what we've learned from our guests, we've learned so much about live streaming.
Mm-hmm.
And it's come in handy, I mean, it's been a great experience in and of itself, but yeah, I agree. Just do it, right?
Right.
And if you can do it with a good friend, yay.
Right. Collaboration again. I definitely I focused on collaboration with one of my clients this year. And interestingly enough, just the other day, I got a message. I reached out to a pretty big influencer in the industry and said we were up for a collaboration. And interestingly, my contact at the company said, well, I don't really like how you reached out to them. That's not going to go anywhere. They're never going to see, that you said that. You're not connecting with the right person, the decision maker. And I said, oh, that's okay. I want to start with the easy way first. And I did. And the easy way paid off because that person came back and said, tell me what email to contact you. We are interested in a collaboration. So collaboration has really elevated. It is a win-win for everyone involved. I cannot talk more positively about collaboration.
Yeah.
I mean, look at us.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So, and actually you're approaching that person that might have been a little lower on the decision-making, but probably has a lot of influence in the company is a strategic move. So, and that's kind of the stuff that, we do.
Right.
And Lori is an amazing Instagram expert, among other things, but she is something else.
That's where I like to hang out. Well, that's not true. I like to hang out on Twitter, but I don't have any clients who use Twitter the way I would need them, the way that it would work beneficial for them. I've got to find a client. I like Twitter so much, I need to find a client there.
Yeah, and that's how we met, right? We met through Twitter, and I love Twitter too because I've made great friends. So
not only great friends, but here's the thing: is in talking to this one client that I have been with for 6 years, one of their very first connections, and that has generated quite a bit of business for the last 6 years. Well, actually more than that. So it was before I even came on board. Was through a connection on Twitter.
Right.
So don't underestimate Twitter.
Don't underestimate it. Absolutely. But it is a whole strategy.
Yeah.
Strategy. And I think that's a big, and of course, it all depends on who your target market is.
Right.
And, which really determines which platform you need to be on. So it's not like everyone should run out and spend a ton of time on Twitter, but you need to know how to do it really, really well. And Lori, you do.
Well, and Christy pipes up and says, that is where she met us, is on Twitter.
I know.
Twitter brings people together.
Right. Right.
She also says there's a link. She dropped a link in there. Maybe you can. I noticed that with the live comments.
Yeah.
You don't see them. Maybe we can copy that and put it in the comments when you.
Yeah.
In the
I'll
end.
copy it.
Okay, copy it because I can't do that.
Yeah, I will do that.
So she has a link to her self-help for overthinking videos in case anyone is interested. that is very nice. There we go.
Yeah, I'm going to actually put it on the screen, but
Yeah.
But then, actually, yeah. If Christy, if you email me that, text me that too, I'll put it up for sure on the YouTube, on a summary on YouTube. So here we are, Lori.
So vote. Know how to vote. The thing is here's my point. If anybody is watching this and they're on the fence, I would be surprised if they're on the fence deciding who to vote for, because I can't imagine that you aren't 100% sure by now. I mean, really, I think the issues are so big and the people are either I'm voting this way or I'm voting that way, which is fantastic. But I think the other thing is, do you really think like your vote doesn't count? I mean, why not? Get out there and I mean, there's so many, here's the problem is there's so many more things on the ballot than just the president. And we need to be active there, and we need to say what we want, right, as a nation.
Yeah. And as we're feeling, the issues that we feel squeezed by, it's a way to make a change. Right?
It's better to start early in your local state before you get to federal.
Absolutely. All the way up.
Yeah.
So it's local, state, exactly. All the way up the ladder. It's critical if we're it's a democracy, right?
Right.
We have a voice.
Honor that democracy.
Say that one more time.
Honor that democracy.
Correct. And yeah. And
I think young people are more into all of this than I was as a younger person. At least that's me, I know you were very political. And
I have always been really interested in the whole system, and that came from my dad, so but another great quote I love is, democracy is not a spectator sport. You can't stand on the sidelines and expect a democracy to work.
Right.
So 2 weeks.
2 weeks, we'll wrap up. We'll talk. I mean, we'll see where we are. I mean, I don't think anybody really knows what's going to happen that, the next day after election day. Will we have a president? I don't know. I think this is going to be it's been a weird year. I think it's going to continue being a weird year. Mm-hmm. So we will wrap up. We'll give it until the 12th and see if we have more definitive things to talk about. And then we'll talk about where we go from here. Where should we go from here? Maybe people know.
That's what you said. We'd love to hear your thoughts.
Yeah.
And because we're thinking, and what we're going to do, I think, probably take a little bit of time off.
Oh, yeah.
And
the holidays.
Yep, the holidays. Yeah. And
but maybe shining light on small businesses, because they are being devastated. And we would love to help give businesses a platform to speak up. And I'm part of the 10,000 small business community, and I was on a call with Cal Biz, mm-hmm. who is an advocate for small businesses in California.
Right.
And they're listening. We were able to ask our questions, and she addressed every single question, said how she was going to address it, what we needed to do, circle back around, contact this person. She was super good advocate for small businesses. So I really would love to help people who don't know these things exist and help them find those resources. Claudia did a fantastic job. She is just rocking it from Hero. She was finding ways. The very first time she was on our show, she sounded very depressed. She's a coffee company. She had to close. And now she's got grants. She's got money coming in that's helping her. She's got mentors who are helping her. It's just been a fantastic, but she worked her ass off to find it.
That's right. She didn't just stand there and go, "Oh, poor me," right? She actively sought out solutions.
That's right.
Going right back to what you said in the beginning of this show, solutions, and that we all have to be looking to the positive solution, the positive outcome. Yeah, Claudia is amazing, and people can go and watch. We had she had her and 2 other small businesses on twice about, at the beginning of COVID, what they were experiencing, and like 4 months later.
Right.
But yes, Lori, wouldn't that be great? To give a platform to small businesses to talk about, because people are already getting nervous.
Yeah, if they haven't.
I've been talking to my friends. I've been a member for like 30 years of a local chamber of commerce, and they are already nervous. So that is a really intriguing and great idea.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about
it. Then, join us November 12th. Mark your calendars, and we will see you then. Vote, vote, vote. Please vote. Make your voices heard. And we appreciate everyone who's joined us. It has really been an honor to have so many people on the show and to have you comment and join us live. And even those who have come forward from Australia saying that they've watched our show after. I mean, thank you, thank you, thank you. And we will see you next time. On the squeeze.
On the squeeze. Take care.
Bye.